Hey, what's up? My name is Daniela and welcome to a new video. So today we're doing a book haul. So I haven't done one for a very long time, so I'm not even sure which books you've already seen, but I'm just going to show you some books I got recently for Christmas or during other occasions. Okay, so let's do Christmas first. So these books are all books I chose for myself and my family gave them to me. So first I have Rosalind Palmer Takes the Cake by Alexis Hall. So this is an adult contemporary romance. This author comes highly recommended by many booktubers, and you know, this is a romance with cooking or baking, so that just sounds amazing. Yeah, I've been wanting to read something by Alexis Hall for some time. I also got the Boyfriend Material, I think it's called, on ebook, but I also might be starting with this one, we'll see. Then I got one whole series, or like a collection of companion novels, because I want to finish more series this year, and so getting all of them or like several of them together is a good idea. So I got The Kiss Quotient and I don't know which one is it, the second, maybe this one, The Brightest, and The Heart Principle by Helen Huang. So I've already read this one a few years ago. I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. So yeah, I definitely want to continue with the series. In each book we follow different characters, but I still consider it a series. I'm pretty sure there are more books than 3 in the series right now, but you know, getting through the first 3 is a good start. So this book is an adult contemporary romance about a woman who's econometrician, which was interesting for me, and she also has autism, and she decides that she wants to get like a man to teach her how to be in a relationship. I haven't investigated about the plot of these, but I believe we follow like someone's cousin, just some other characters that appear in book 1. So yeah, very excited to continue with the series. I probably reread the first book first, although I don't have to, but yeah, I think I want to. And then the last book I got for Christmas was Byli jsme tu vždycky by Filip Titlbach. So this is a Czech book, and it's a non-fiction book about the history of queer people in the Czech Republic. I don't know if in Slovakia too, but yeah, it sounds really interesting. Maybe there's a bit of history and then more about the present times, I'm not sure. The title means We've Always Been Here. Okay, then I finally ordered a book that I've been wanting to read, you know, since it came out, and that's Delilah Green Doesn't Care by Ashley Herring Blake. So yeah, I got this in January and now it's April. I still haven't read it, but I think it really will be one of my next reads, because yeah, it needs to happen. I'm so hyped about this book. This is sapphic contemporary romance. The cover is stunning, the reviews are great, so yeah, I need to read it. Then I have 3 non-fiction books. So there's a book club at my work, and we get the books and then we talk about them, you know, as in a book club. But yeah, the first book we read was The Infinite Game. This was a non-fiction book mostly focused on business and how, you know, it's better to have some long-term perspective, etc., and like not make decisions that only work short time. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one. Then we read Mindset by Dr. Carol S. Dweck, and this is a book about the fixed mindset, meaning that like people think that they have fixed talents and they can't really progress and learn more than, you know, they were born with. And then you have the growth mindset, which means that you can improve in areas, you know, in all areas basically. So yeah, I also really enjoyed this one. There were some things about upbringing and like the current school system that, you know, were really relatable, so I really appreciated this book. And then we also read Think Again by Adam Grant. So this was a really entertaining book about like confronting your biases and prejudices and thinking again and being open to change your mind on things, etc. Also really enjoyed this one. Then I was on the Canary Islands and I went to a couple of bookstores but the best one was this secondhand bookstore I found, and they had like a book for €4, and then you could have 2 books for €6, but I only bought one, but it was a really good find. So I found Red, White and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston, like basically in a perfect condition for €4. So yeah, I was very happy about it because this is one of my favorite books. I read it on audiobook, so I haven't read it physically. I haven't reread it since I read it for the first time. And yeah, I'm really happy to own it and to have found it for so cheap. And you know, overall it was such a nice experience being in the bookstore. So yeah, that was like a highlight. Then I have 2 more nonfiction books. So these are secondhand, and the first one is the psychology book, and this is really exciting because I've been eyeing these books in a bookstore. It's like a whole, you know, edition, or like, I don't know, it's just like the something book, and it's really pretty. I really like the format, and yeah, I am excited to hopefully read this book. Maybe I will get some more books from this edition, because yeah, we'll see how I actually like it, but it seems like a really nice way to absorb new information with like this colorful design and like the pictures and etc. I was very happy to find it secondhand. Again, it's in a very nice condition. So yeah, that was a good find. And then I also got Bad Blood: Secrets and Lies in the Silicon Valley Startup by John Carreiro. So yeah, this is a nonfiction I've been eyeing for some time, and you know, I wouldn't probably get it full price, but yeah, it's about the scandal in Silicon Valley, and I'm quite interested to learn more. So yeah, then I got a very exciting book that is, you know, going towards one of my goals, and the goal is to read a book in Spanish. And I said in my goals videos that like the goal is very lax, like it can be whatever. And you know, I saw this book in the second-hand online bookstore, and I was like, yeah, that's a really good start. And it's this one, Coco Aprende a Leer. So I can understand the title, so that's a good sign, right? And yeah, it's a like little children book. So like so much text, but you know, I think it sounds like the perfect first book for me to read in Spanish. It means Coco is learning to read, by the way. I will still need to look up words even in this book, because I'm not that advanced at all, but you know, I'm really looking forward to reading this one. Then for another goal, and that is finishing series, I got a 3rd volume in the series because they didn't have it in my library. So I got Oh Wow, So Bold and Deadly, which is book 3 in the Curse Breaker series. I just finished the series yesterday. I'm really glad I finished it. And basically I wanted to reread the first book and then continue with the next volumes, and then decide if I love the series enough to get the nice hardback editions, because I don't know, like they're really pretty and I would prefer to have them. But then I wanted to get this as cheap as possible, which meant like buying a new paperback. And I thought that like I would break the spines, because I got the first 2 volumes from the library and the spines are pretty beat. So I thought that, you know, even though I try not to break the spine, I usually cannot prevent it, because like if I try to read it just like normally, it just happens. But I didn't break the spine. But I also don't know if I want to buy the first 2 books in paperback. Like, the first book remains my favorite. I gave that 5 stars, and I gave 4 stars to volumes 2 and 3. So I don't know if I'm going to reread the series, so I might not be buying the books in hardcover, and then I'm just like stuck with this paperback. So I might just like sell this, but whatever, we'll see. And last book I have here is yet another book that I got from that secondhand bookstore, and it's The 12 Days of Dash and Lily by Rachel Cohn and David Leviton. So this is book 2 in the Dash and Lily series. The first book being Dash and Lily's Book of Theirs, I believe, which I read a couple of years ago at Christmas, and I really enjoyed it. So yeah, I got a sequel. I also want to get the first book in physical form. I read it in ebook, and yeah, I think I want to own it and to be able to reread it. This is a young adult contemporary romance that takes place during Christmas, and we have Lily, who adores Christmas, and then we have Dash, who hates Christmas. And yeah, they were like pretentious teenagers in a good way, and there was like a lot of about books and linguistics, and yeah, I just really enjoyed it. So yeah, when I saw this book for cheap, I grabbed it. So yeah, that's my little book haul. Let me know if you've read any of these books or if you're interested to read any of them. Like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. Thank you so much for watching. Talk to me in the comments, and I will see you next time. Bye!